In the heart of Idaho, far from the world's gaze, one of the most horrific crimes to shake the United States in recent years unfolded, the case of Bryan Kohberger, the man who was studying criminology and then turned killer, not once, but 4 times in a single night, transforming his college dream into an unforgettable nightmare. Bryan Kohberger, in his 30s, was a doctoral student in criminology at Washington State University. He appeared to others as an ordinary person, perhaps even ambitious in his field, but what lay hidden within him was darker than anything anyone could have imagined. Just days before the crimes that rocked Idaho, it was reported that he may have encountered a roommate, perhaps a chance meeting, but news reports suggest that this was among the first signs of a much larger mystery to come. The night of November 13, 2022, when tranquility turned to terror. On the morning of November 13, 2022, Moscow, Idaho, awoke to shocking news. 4 University of Idaho students had been murdered inside their off-campus home. The house on King Road was an ordinary place, until it became the scene of an unbelievably brutal crime. The victims were Kaylee Goncalves, 21. Madison Mogan, 21. Xana Kernadel, 20. Ethan Chapin, 20. Their bodies were found in the house. They had suffered multiple brutal stab wounds, including defensive injuries indicating that some had tried to escape. The night before the crime, silent warnings. Just a few days before the murders, something strange had happened at the same house. When a group of students returned home, they found the door ajar, as if it had been left in a hurry. This led the victims to suspect a strange intruder, and they even took golf clubs for protection while searching the house for any dangers. These events were a silent warning, but no one could have predicted the tragedy that would follow. The fight inside the house and the encounter with the killer. That same night, while most of the students were asleep after an outing, Kohberger broke into the house in the early hours of the morning. One of the surviving roommates later said she saw a person dressed in black and wearing a mask walking around the house. Then the worst happened. Kohberger began stabbing the victims, some while they slept, and others who tried to defend themselves, as evidenced by the defensive wound on one of the students. One of the surviving witnesses said he saw the man leave the house just minutes later, like something out of a nightmare that hadn't yet run its course. How was he caught? Kohberger's arrest wasn't immediate, but it was the result of a thorough investigation. DNA evidence from a knife sheath found at the crime scene linked Kohberger to the crime. Phone data showed that his phone was near the crime scene multiple times in the months leading up to the incident. After weeks of searching, he was arrested in Pennsylvania, where he was visiting his family. Trial and sentencing. In 2025, Kohberger pleaded guilty as part of a plea deal that spared him the death penalty, but he was sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 2 years for robbery. The judge imposed the harsh sentence after the families and witnesses confronted the horrific reality left by this man, in what the families described as one of the darkest days of their lives. Motive behind the crimes, the unsolved mystery. To date, Authorities have not announced any definitive motive for Kohberger's crimes. Despite extensive investigations and analysis of his digital and social media activity, the reason behind this bloody attack remains a mystery. The question that persists: why did he do it? The End, the Dark Lord's final chapter. Bryan Kohberger's story isn't just about one crime, it's about an investigation into the human psyche and its dark underbelly. A man who studied crime, only to become the protagonist in one of America's most mysterious mass murders. In the end, justice wasn't just served, it left us with lessons about how evil can lurk in the most unexpected places, even in the minds of those who should understand it.